Hi guys, this is Tina here from Under 3 Acres, and today I'm going to share with you my turkey brine recipe. I actually recorded this video last Christmas, and so I thought with the holidays coming, I should get this out there to you guys so you can enjoy nice, juicy turkey. We started brining the turkey after, I think I saw on Food Network one year, one of the shows, and somebody was brining a turkey. I'd never heard of it before, and ever since I saw that, I was curious about how that would affect the taste of a turkey. So I've been doing it ever since. I've tried different recipes. This is the one that I start with usually. It has rosemary and thyme, garlic, bay leaves, half a cup of sugar, half a cup of salt, some peppercorns, and some water. And then we'll bring that to a boil and let it cool. And then we'll add it to our bucket here and let the turkey sit in there for about 24 hours, give or take. There's probably a rule on how many hours, but I do it about 24 hours. So this is just a regular 5-gallon bucket, and we put a gamma lid in it. I actually had noodles stored in here before. We took the noodles out. I usually have a separate bucket, but I don't know, it got used for something else. So this is food safe. It's a food safe bucket. And so I will put all of this in here, and then I'll add the turkey once it's cooled down, and I'll add more water. This is filtered water mixed with some bottled water. Our water here in the country here has sediment in it, and I don't have a filter set up yet to filter the sediment out, so we use Berkey water to drink. But since I didn't plan far enough ahead to keep pulling water out, we just use a lot of water. I probably need a bigger Berkey for the size of family we have. But so I'm using bottled water, which we keep a lot of as well, just in case we have power out or something, because you need the pump to pump the water up, and you know, whatever. If you live in the country, it's common. Anyway, so I've got my bucket here, I've got all my ingredients here, so I'm gonna put this together and brine the turkey. So let's start. So the thing is like, you can change the flavoring of your brine, and the reason we brine it is so that we don't have dry turkey, and that we have really moist, tender turkey and flavorful turkey. So there's science behind it. I'm not exactly sure of all the science. All I know is that it tastes better if it's brined. So I'm just gonna, I've got some rosemary here. I had planned on actually growing all of our own herbs, but they died when we moved. Because they weren't a part of the staging, I had to put them outside, and they got a bit of frost, and then after moving them, they just never really recovered. So I'll just plant more this coming spring, probably winter. Need some greenery around here. And so normally you just pull back on the rosemary, but I'm not having any luck. And sometimes I add oranges and apples, and if I have like a half a bottle of wine in the fridge, I will add that as well. So I'm just gonna chop these up a little bit just to release the flavors. I am by no means a chef or cook. I'm not trained in this. I just know what I like, and what the family likes, and that's what we do. We just learn as we go. So I'm gonna add, so this is about 6 cups of water. I'm gonna add that to the pot first. And I made a mess. And then as I go, I will add more. It can be more or less water, but 6 cups is about, it's a good amount to dissolve the sugar and the salt. Now I've used different kinds of sugar. I've used cane sugar, and I believe I've even brined, excuse me, using honey before. And then you can flavor it how you want. These are just the herbs that we like, but you could use other herbs as well. I've added apples before, so here's half a cup of, this is golden sugar. You could add brown sugar or cane sugar, probably even white sugar. And that was sea salt, the Himalayan, or no, it wasn't sea salt, it was Himalayan salt, pink Himalayan salt. And I always have a lot of that on hand. I get the big tubs at Costco. But you can use real salt or sea salt. I never use any of the, or you could use pickling salt as well. You can, just trying to get the herbs off of here. Yeah, that one worked a little better. Usually peel right off. What was I saying about the different kinds of salt? I just don't use the iodized salt. It has anti-caking agents in it, and some of the ingredients in those cause stomach issues with a couple of the kids. I think there's corn, a corn derivative or something in those. So I just don't buy them. I'm pretty sure you probably could use them, but not 100% sure, so don't mark my words on that one. And I just like to try to keep it as plain and simple as possible. If you have an orange or apples, I think I might add apples to this. And you can add onion as well. I usually add that right to the brine. I don't add it into the mix here, like I won't add the apple in here. I'll add it right to the bucket afterwards. This just releases the flavors. It makes for a really nice I never grew up, even though I grew up on a farm, we never brined turkeys. I don't know why or why not. I had asked my aunt once why we never did, and she never heard of it. I'll add my peppercorns before I knock those off. And I'll just give the stems to the chickens after. And so I've got 5 cloves, you can do 5 or 6 cloves of garlic here, and I'll just chop those roughly up. I had bought these actually to plant, keep this separate, in the garden. These are hardneck garlic cloves, and they need to be planted in the fall, but if you've seen the moving video when we moved, you'll see that we moved in the snow. It actually did thaw for a few days, but I didn't find any garlic cloves. By the time I got the garlic cloves, it was the day before it snowed again, and then never got them in the ground. So now I'll just have to plant garlic in the spring, but I can't plant these. You plant these in the fall. This kind of, I think this is called music or something. I don't remember. I got it at the farm store. I'm curious to know, like, do you brine your turkey? How do you brine it? Leave some comments below. What are your favorite add-ons, or do you use something different? In your mix, because I always like to try new things, and I like to use up what I have on hand. So I don't have any open bottles of wine, so I won't put any wine in here this year. There's a few spots on my garlic. That's not a big deal. So I'll just cut these just a little bit. Again, just to release the flavors. And then we'll get the bring this here to a boil. I don't have to stir it all the time. I just stir it to get it going here. And it's a simple recipe, and it makes a huge difference in the flavor just let that come to a boil. All we're trying to do here is get the salt and the sugar to dissolve completely in the water and to release the oils out of the herbs. So I'm just about to prepare our turkey to go into the bucket. I'm going to wash it up and rinse it all out, get the little bag of giblets inside if there is one, because you never know. Sometimes they come with them, sometimes they don't. Ours is a farm fresh turkey from a local farmer. In the last few years we've been, actually probably since we've been brining our turkeys, we've been using turkeys directly from the farm because they don't come butter basted. Some of us can't have dairy products, as I mentioned in one of my other videos. So this is the best way that I've found that nobody has any issues in our family with the turkey, because there's no butter in it. I usually add olive oil and some other things when I'm actually baking it, but as far as brining it goes, I'm just gonna clean it up. I'm gonna get it in the bucket ready, well, I'm not gonna put it in the bucket until I've added this, and then I'll add, still it hasn't boiled yet. Then I'll add some ice and cold water because we want it to stay cold. So I usually add quite a bit of ice and it'll go down into the cold storage. Our cold storage room is about 10 degrees, 11 degrees Celsius. I'm terrible at knowing what that is in Fahrenheit, but I think it's around 40 degrees or so, or somewhere around there. So it's a little bit warmer than a fridge, but not as cold as outside, for example. Actually, I think it's almost that today outside. So we're gonna get this ready to go and we'll go from there. So I don't think you should brine a turkey if it's been butter basted. So if you get one from the grocery store, look for ones that haven't been butter basted. A lot of them are, or like my recommendation would be to source one from a farmer or grow your own if you can. We're gonna try hopefully to grow our own in the future, but for now we're getting them from local growers, and there's no hormones, no antibiotics, no GMOs, any of that kind of stuff, and they're just nice juicy turkeys to work with. So this is still so I decided I would put a couple apples in with it. So it's boiling now. I'm just going to turn this off, and I'm going to just add this as the first thing to my brining bucket. Noah, we have an ice cube. Yeah, it'll fit. Yeah, our ice cubes all froze together. So okay, this didn't quite go as planned. There we go. I mean, if you live in the city, I guess you could use city water. We've always used filtered water. We had a different filter before. We had the Berkey. Yeah, so I think I'm going to add the turkey before I add any more. What are you doing? Does it go faster? Am I doing it wrong? I want to get the turkey in before it gets too full though. Sasha? So I'm gonna add, yeah, we can have snacks. Your apples are brining. I'm just kidding. We'll get you some more apples, okay? We'll cut up some apples for snacks. So what my husband here is doing is he's getting the cavity inside to fill with the brine so that it sinks and stays underwater. We've got to add a bit more water to it. And it's important that you don't break the barrier, like the cold barrier. So you have it cold, you keep it cold until you're going to bake it. Then you leave it set out to room temperature for a bit before you put it in the oven. But it's important to keep it cold so that you don't get sick. So now we just have to fill it up so that the turkey is completely submersed in brine. Now what we have done in the past is set up, if it was trying to float, we'd set a plate or something heavy on top just to keep it all underwater. And you can brine from anywhere, I think from 12 to 24 hours. I usually aim around the 24 hours. It'll be a little less than that this time. And then I suggest you check on it a couple times, like before you go to bed at night. Make sure that if the ice cubes have melted, that you add some more ice cubes. So that's why we'll leave a little bit of space here so we can add more ice if needed. And then we just put the lid on, and that's it. That's how easy it is to brine a turkey. So that's it. We're gonna bake this up tomorrow, and we want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And thank you for watching. And if you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button and the bell to make sure you get a notification every time we bring out a new video. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.